Hi everyone, this is Killshot from 99 Gaming. This is Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 13, Countdown Live. It's been a few days, but we are back, and we're going to talk about tonight's episode. And I just scrolled through a little bit of the chat, so I want to get the super chat out there and say what's up to Valar, who says, hello 99 Army, Kill Steph, Emmy Kel, Sweet Tommy, sponsors, Patreons, and of course all super chatters. And it is Walking Dead Sunday, Fear the Walking Dead. It is Football Sunday, so many cool things going on. I'm not going to make it a super ratings conversation, but I did see E Beach posted something up there as well. Fear the Walking Dead, lowest ratings ever. It's all over. Let me correct just on a couple things, because I'm sure there's some YouTubers jumping all over this. First of all, their ratings are higher than last year still. They are 0.43%, almost 0.5% higher year over year. But last week's episode was bad, and it fell. So they lost 15% in 1 week. So it knocked them down from 1.8 million. They got about 1.5 million viewers. So you can't base a whole season just based on last week. I want to give you guys some real numbers, not just some massaged or fake numbers that are out there. But tonight's episode is make or break. If tonight is a good showing, they will still be positively comping over last year. If it's bad, like last week was, then they're going to be negative comping. So just so you guys know, that's what's out there. No emotion involved in that. Just want to give you guys some pretty straightforward numbers. Also, let me say this, that this week we are going to get into some Walking Dead chat. I have been going through some spoiler information, piecing a few things together, and I got a theory that I'm going to unveil with The Walking Dead probably tomorrow night. We're going to talk about it, so you do want to stay tuned for that. But I think we're leaning. Remember how we said we had 5 or 6, and we're just sort of going to filter them down? Got some new information that with some filming, and I think I can probably filter it down to something that's going to be pretty close. So you are going to want to tune in tomorrow night and listen to a little bit of that, because it might be on the money. You know, we get there eventually. So, hey, I missed you guys too. How long has it been since we did a stream? Was it Wednesday? So, what, 4 days? But we're back. And we are going to talk about tonight's episode of Fear. So I'm hoping, based on the spoilers, that this is going to ramp it back up a little bit. But, you know, they are competing with football again, too. So don't be surprised the numbers pull down a little bit. I think, was it Packers and the Bears tonight? So, you know, they're going to be competing for viewers. We are going to do a reaction. So here's the way the stream is going to go. We're going to do this stream. It's going to be about 15 minutes or so. Then there'll be Talking Dead, and after Talking Dead, around 10:15-ish, 10:20-ish, then we're going to go into the reaction time. And let me get to some stuff here. So let me just let you know. These are spoilers. So if you don't want to know the spoilers for tonight's episode, this is your opportunity to kind of turn away. All right, you have been warned. But I got Pete D with a super chat as well. Thank you, Pete D. Is there... Wait, Pete, you got to have a comment in there somewhere. I hate waiting. All right, well, let's get into the spoilers. I don't want to keep you waiting, Pete D. So tonight's episode is going to be... Oh, I know what he means. He means hate waiting for tomorrow night. But you got to wait for it, because this is just going to be Fear the Walking Dead stuff tonight. So tonight's episode, and once again, I want to give a special shout out to the folks over at Spoiling Dead Fans. This is their information, so I'm not trying to hijack their information, just to let you guys know what's going on here. So tonight's episode will be, you got Morgan, you got June, and you got Al. You know, they had that wonderful reunion. So last week's episode had some issues, but at the end, I thought it kind of ramped up a little bit, and it was a little bit more entertaining. So a walker approaches. Sarah will kill him, but then they notice the writing on the face. So let me say this tonight. There will be some coincidence. So I know Toledo, some other people like to call it bad writing. I call it fortuitous. So I like that. I like the fact that they are, you know, there's a whole lot of coincidence. And there will be some tonight too, and I'm going to be looking for a callback. So I'll give what I think the rating's going to be, and I'll ask you guys to rate it after I give you all the spoilers. We'll do a pre-rating, and then we'll do the post one after. So after they notice the writing on the dude's face, then the woman with the dreadlocks comes over the radio. Morgan hears her voice, and she kind of starts taunting Morgan a little bit, saying he used to be strong and she can help him out. So everybody's kind of freaked out about it. So we will get another layer of that evil tonight. So we get the return of Luciana tonight. So this is where the coincidence kind of kicks in. And I think I like the way it's going to play out, but I'll have to wait and see. So she finds this dude is pinned in his car. So he's in a car wreck and she can't help him. So she finally figures out, he's going to die. So she has like some last rites or is there any last request? What can I get for you? So the dude wants a beer. And so her quest now is to go out and get him a beer before he dies. I mean, it's a pretty nice thing to do. She could just kill him, but nope, she's going to go get it. And guess where she finds a beer. I'm just going to leave it. You know what? This will be half spoiler, half guesswork. I'll let the audience at home answer this question. So can you figure it out? Where is she going to get his final beer from? Dun, dun, dun. What's up, Chip Smith, the Clemson fan? And while people are answering that question, I do want to give a super chat shout out to Chip Smith. Thank you so much. Appreciate you popping in. And I even gave you a little bit of extra Clemson shout out because they beat the Aggies. In the box, that is correct. So remember, Jim took the one beer out of the box, stuffed it in the box. So she does find that, and she delivers the beer to the guy. The man gives her a journal, which details locations of supplies. And then, so it looks as if this man might be the person that they took the truck from. Not the original guy that had the stuff on his face. So the speculation is that the guy that Luciana finds is the guy that had all the supplies in the first place. And Luciana will reunite with Morgan. So they'll catch up to them as well. So we got another group. John and Strand and the crocodile. So tonight we get to see the crocodile scene play out. Alligator, crocodile, I don't know. One of them opens their mouth stronger. One of them closes their mouth stronger. Kel, you should know this. You're from Florida. That's a little trivia question for you guys. So John finds a car with an old camper. He wants to make the camper a boat. It seems to work at first, but evidently they got to be alligators, right? I don't even know. I thought crocodiles are more like Australia and alligators are more like the bayou. Regardless, the crocodiles ram into it. It starts to leak. John wants to keep going, but Strand convinced him to fire his gun to lure the walkers away, serving as a distraction for the animals as well. We'll call them animals. I think they're gators. Either way, it appears that tonight the Gators will lose, much like yesterday. Sorry. Too soon, Kale, right? Too soon. People want to know, is there anyone that dies? Yes, the old man dies after he gets his beer. And besides the crocodiles, any other dangerous scene in the episode? So people want to know if there's some additional danger in the episode. So the woman in the dreadlocks finally catches up with the group in the truck. So this is going to be an ongoing threat. She is the enemy. You got to watch out for her because, we voted on it last week to see if she was a little bit more evil. So based on those spoilers, I just want to throw it out there and ask the group right now. We had some very low ratings last week. We are going to have Wendell's devices. We're going to have the alligators tonight. So 1 to a 10, give me your pre-rating for tonight's show. I'm going to give you guys my rating, and then I'm just going to give you a couple additional bullet points that I think might positively affect tonight's show and get us a little bit better rating. So let's see what you guys think about Fear the Walking Dead before we see it. Entertainment value, 1 to a 10. And we're going to get some numbers rolling in here shortly. Hippo is going with an 8. Pete, it's sliding down on your scale a little bit there. Pete says 7. We got an 8, 7.5, 7, 7, 7.5. Ooh. Is the magic disappearing? Some 7s, some 8s. Maybe a 7, a few 6s. Legend coming in with 8.9. So not super, super high expectations, which is good. I think the lower the expectations, then sometimes Emmy's going to throw it out there for a 12. So I'm going to go a little bit ahead of the crowd. I'm going to go above the curve based on a couple of things. I'm going to give it an 8.5 before I see it. Now, there are some things that can tip the balance, either positives where I can say it's going to be a better episode, or negative. So I'm going to give you a few of my criteria. So I'm going to use the Toledo scale. So if I deem that it's coincidence, I'm going to give it a half a point for a good coincidence. If I deem it's bad writing, I'm going to take a half a point away. So there alone, I could go from a 9 to an 8, just based on that debate that we're going to have in the reaction video tonight. Of course, I do, and the 8.5 is including the gator scene. So I'm already giving it positive credit for that. The two big things that I'm looking for tonight are how cool Wendell's wheelchair is and how cool the alligator scene is. So that's built into the 8.5. Now, obvious Walking Dead callback. That's going to be worth at least a half a point. So if there's a really good callback, now, if it's repetitive callback, if it's Morgan, you're bringing up Rick again, and it's something about wanting to see his face and talking to him, I'm going to subtract. So if it's obvious and it's good and it's well played, I'm going to give some additional points. If I think it's redundant, repetitive, then I'm going to take away points. So there we can go from a 9 to a 7.5, just based on those things. And I am going to need to see a creative Walker. I got to see something that's a little bit differently done. So I'm looking for something that is unique. If I can find something unique that they do in this episode they don't do, I'm going to give it a quarter of a point, not quite a half a point. It's getting harder and harder to really wow the audience. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm doing an evil chart. So the lady in dreadlocks, her scale of evil, if she can come up with something that kind of wows me, I'm going to give another quarter of a point based on that. So there's just a few of the different things that we're going to take a look at. Coincidence versus bad writing. Unique, especially in the Walker kill. Obvious callbacks. So callbacks I'm looking for. And then the scale of evil. So we'll just keep it with those four. Do want to make a couple announcements. I know you guys got to go get ready for some football and a couple things. Next Saturday and next Sunday, we are going to start our 9-9 sports. So I know some of you are sports fans, some of you aren't. We get together a little bit before the college games, a little bit before the NFL games, and do some predictions, talk about some fantasy players. I drew Breeze today, just absolutely crushed it from on the fantasy scene, got me 44.6 points. So we'll talk a little fantasy football. So stay tuned for a little bit more of that, and that'll be posted on our 9-9 Sports channel. Also, tonight we will be doing a reaction video. That's going to be at 10:15. So watch, you're going to be channel hopping, so watch a little bit of the game, watch Talking Dead, go back and forth, and meet us back here at 10:15, and we'll do a recap of our reaction. And then tomorrow night, we are going to do a Walking Dead chat, and I'm going to it's not a brand new theory, but it is a more structured version of a theory that we already have out there based on some new spoiler information that just kind of fell in my lap. So I want to thank everybody for being here tonight. We won't do shout-outs because this is a very, very quick stream. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do. Had a few day break, but this week is going to ramp back up. So all week long we're going to be doing live streams, so you can pretty much count on them every single night. Make sure you guys slap this like button. I'm sure there's going to be a gator analogy or a Wendell analogy, whatever, or you can like NATO it if you want. But regardless, have a great night, and I will talk to you all at 10:15. Peace, everybody.